Yo, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Sleezo coming at you with a brand new video. Today is the second half of my AFC team analysis series. Now, before we get things started, I just want to clear something up. I'm not going to be predicting wins and losses for the season. I want to say that for a series that's yet to come. I'm just basically going to be going over, current injuries, strengths and weaknesses of each team, and players to watch out for the upcoming season. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Now, the first team that we're going to talk about in this episode are the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Buffalo Bills, to many, were a bit disappointing, but there were definitely a few good things that the Buffalo Bills did. To start off, they were number one in rushing offense. LaShawn McCoy had a pretty good year. He missed a quarter of the season, but he did put up 900 yards, 3 touchdowns. Carlos Williams had 500 yards, 7 touchdowns at the backup spot. So they really do have a nice 1-2 punch coming out of the backfield. Sammy Watkins posted 1,000 yards. He had 60 receptions and 9 touchdowns. Now, the Bills' passing attack was ranked 28th in the National Football League, but don't let that ranking fool you. Tyrod Taylor, in his first year as a starter, was very, very efficient. He threw for 3,000 yards, 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions with a completion percentage of 64. Now, that is pretty good. Now, the only disappointment with the Buffalo Bills was their defense. Now, if you look at the rankings this past season, they were ranked 19th in total defense, 16th against the rush, and 19th when it came to defending the pass. Now, if you look at the 2014, they were ranked 4th in total defense, 11th against the rush, and 3rd against the pass. Now, that is a big-time drop-off. Now, the Buffalo Bills have really good players on the defensive side of the football. They have a 1-2 combo at the cornerback position. It's Stephon Gilmore and Ronald Darby, who were excellent last year. On the defensive line, they have Jerry Hughes, Marcel Darius. They have Kyle Williams, when healthy, who is a very, very good defensive tackle. Now, they drafted Reggie Ragland and Lawson, who was the Buffalo Bills' first-round draft selection, may very well miss the entire NFL season. Reggie Ragland just went down in practice with a non-contact knee injury. Now, we need to see how that second opinion goes. The Buffalo Bills may very well be without their top 2 draft selections from this past draft for the beginning of the season. Now, the only problem with the Buffalo Bills' defense is health. You look at Kyle Williams, he missed 10 games last year. He's a very solid starter. He's a very, very good defensive tackle. Now, some of the strengths I have for the Buffalo Bills is obviously the running back position, the cornerback position, the defensive line when healthy, as I just stated. But for the weaknesses, I really want to point out the wide receiver position. Now, we know where they have Sammy Watkins, he's a solid number 1. He's without a doubt one of the most explosive receivers in the National Football League when healthy. Now, the only problem is depth at that position. You have Robert Woods as a number 2. He's not consistent enough to be a threat when Sammy Watkins is having an off game or he's injured. He can't pick up that kind of slack. Now, they added a veteran in Greg Little. They signed Jared Boykin, who showed some playmaking ability in Green Bay. However, they need to find a solid weapon outside of Sammy Watkins and Charles Clay. Now, the only problem with the Buffalo Bills is that their offense revolves around the rushing attack. Everything is centered around LaShawn McCoy and Carlos Williams, but Carlos Williams is also suspended for the first 4 games of the season. Now, what I would like to see is for this Buffalo Bills offense to revolve more around Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor has already been proven to be a consistent starter in the league now, but I want to see him take that next step. He has the tools. He has really good arm strength. He's mobile inside and outside of the pocket. His decision making is above average. He's accurate with the football. Now, the only thing that I think is holding Tyrod Taylor back from reaching his full potential is the coaching staff. Rex Ryan is known, he's a defensive-minded coach. He's always focused more so on the defensive side of the football. Now, Rex Ryan also focuses on having a solid rushing attack. Now, they have that, but we all know that the NFL is a passing league now. The game of football revolves around the quarterback position. Now, Rex Ryan finally has a quarterback who can make plays not only with his arm, but with his legs. So I want to see the Buffalo Bills take more risks down the field. I want to see Tyrod Taylor take shots down the field. I want to see Rex Ryan entrust Tyrod Taylor with his offense. But will they be able to do that? Only time will tell. Now, the next team we're going to be talking about are the Miami Dolphins. Now, the Miami Dolphins are a football team that going into last season had high expectations. They were and they still are a very young, talented football team. Now, they started off the season very poorly. They went 1-3. They then fired their head coach, Joe Philbin. They promoted Dan Campbell to the head coaching position. And after they made that head coaching change, they won 2 straight games against the Houston Texans and the Tennessee Titans, which evened out their record at 3-3. Now, a lot of people thought that the Dolphins had finally reached their full potential and that they had finally arrived, but that wasn't the case. They then proceeded to go 3-7 the rest of the season and ended up 6-10. In the offseason, they hired Chicago Bears offensive coordinator Adam Gase. Now, the expectations are that Adam Gase could be the guy to help Ryan Tannehill bloom into who he has the tools to become, or who we have expected him to become. Now, if you look at the statistics, Ryan Tannehill is not a bad quarterback. He threw for 4,208 yards, 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions with a completion percentage of 62%. Now, the only problem with Ryan Tannehill is his decision making. Now, he has the weapons. He has Jarvis Landry. He has Devontae Parker and Jordan Cameron at the tight end position. Now, they did lose Lamar Miller coming out of the backfield, but they signed veteran running back in Arian Foster. They lost Brent Grimes at the cornerback position and one of their best pass rushers in Olivier Vernon. But they did acquire Kiko Alonso and Byron Maxwell via trade. In the draft, they got Laramie Tunzel, who in my opinion was a top 5 prospect. Now, it's not a matter of if the Dolphins are going to be good. It's a matter of when. When are they going to step up and play the way we've been expecting them to play now? They have the tools to be a quality football team on both sides of the field. But if you look at the rankings from last year, they were ranked 26th in total offense and 25th in total defense. Now, they were bad on both sides of the field. It's just a matter of them coming together and performing. This is going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe.